What's up, YouTube? Just wanted to let you know how I did at the Mirrodin Besieged game day. I made a couple changes to the deck right before I went. Probably the most important being that I moved Inquisition of Kozilek from the sideboard to the main board. I had three of them. It actually was really good when I tested it, just because you can cast it on turn one, and yeah, it only works on their 3 drops and less. But a lot of times those are the ones that you want to get rid of because those are their removal, counter spells, Tempered Steel, Baby Jace, Sword was a big one. Inquisition is really good because it gets those types of cards. And then the ones that it doesn't get are their Titans or whatever. But then you can think in your head, okay, they have a Titan, I need to save the removal in my hand for when they cast the Titan. So this is actually a really excellent card. The discard ability is pretty relevant. It saves your butt a little bit, and then also it's very valuable to see your opponent's hand. So that card was really good. I think everything else is the same. Oh, I took out the trusty machetes for Flare Husk. Flare Husk is really good against the Kuldotha matchup, just because then you have a 1-drop blocker, and most of their guys are pumped with the Bushwhacker or Battle Cry type thing, so most of them only have 1 toughness. So Flare Husk, just for that matchup there. I think everything else is the same as it is in the other video, besides those 2 changes. Oh, I don't know if Plague Mirror is in the other video, but I ended up running 2 Plague Mirrors. Oh yeah, I took out the Core Prowlers. They were just too expensive for 2/2s. Got Plague Mirrors instead. And then the sideboard changed just a little bit. I put 2 Corpse Curs in the sideboard, and I consumed the Meek instead of Drana, just because it's better removal than Drana was. And then also the 4 Marsh Casualties that I was playing in the sideboard came into the main board like 70% of the games I played, so if you were gonna do a mono black infect build, I would definitely put at least 2 of these in the main board. They're just so good against Kuldotha red, Mirrodin white red type stuff. It gets a quarter paladin, signal pass, all kinds of stuff. And then also it's really good in the mirror matches, both the creature type and the mirror matches. Like it kills mirrors. I played a Tempered Steel deck, and it was just like they would play Copper Mirror, Gold Mirror, Gold Mirror, Copper Mirror, and I'd be like, Marsh Casualties, 4 for 1. So that was really good. And then it's also really good against Infect guys because they can play like Plague Stinger or Ichorclaw Mirror or Flinstermite or that Boa, the green snake Infect guy. Anyways, this just takes out all of those 2 drops. Excellent wrath type effect, and it only costs 2 mana. I didn't ever cast it for a kicker, mostly just because it's a little bit expensive for standard to pay 5 for -2. I ended up just blowing them, or using them for the -1 ability, and it worked out great. I used my other removal once I got into higher converted mana costs. So at the tournament I did pretty good. I went undefeated for 5 rounds, I think it was, and then we did a top 4. There was only 11 people at the tournament. It wasn't a very big turnout, but it was still a lot of fun. Like I said, I went undefeated. Then we got into Final 4, and my first matchup was against someone that was playing Tempered Steel with a bunch of mirrors, and I was really good against that matchup just because Inquisition of Kozilek could get their Tempered Steel on turn 1, and then their deck has nothing but 1/1s and 2/2s, and you slam a Marsh Casualties, and that's like 80% of their deck is gone. So that wasn't a very hard matchup. If they do stick a Tempered Steel, though, then you're kind of screwed because black doesn't have enchantment removal. I guess you could play Spine of Ishtar, but if you have 7 mana, you're probably doing other stuff anyway. So the only time I lost to him, I played him twice that day. I played him earlier in the day and beat him 2-1, and then in finals I beat him 2-0. Once, the one time that he beat me was because he had Tempered Steel out, and I just couldn't keep up with his 3/3s and 4/4s, and the Galvanizers, you know. But he was pretty easy to beat, and then in finals, I was up against mono blue, I guess I'd call it rock control. I mean, each of his guys could pretty much end the game, but he didn't have that many. It's mostly counter spells, spreading seas, preordain type stuff. But then he would play Coral Helm Commander, Grand Architect, Wormcoil Engine, and a bunch of Lodestone Golems, which were total pain. But the key to beating him for me was using a lot of removal. I beat him earlier in the tournament in the 5 rounds that I went undefeated in. I beat him 2-1, and then in finals, I lost the first game, which I expected to because that's how the earlier round went. And then I sideboarded in like all of my removal just because he has no way to win if I kill his golems and worms, etc. But in the second game, I didn't draw any of my sideboard cards. It was really disappointing, and I ended up getting second in the tournament. He wasn't faction aligned because he had a lot of Mirrodin cards, but then he also had Wormcoil Engine, which is Phyrexian aligned. So, I got my promos here. I got the Treasure Mage full art. It's pretty nifty. I got the foil Black Sun Zenith. I don't know if you can see that it's the foil. It's kind of there we go. It's the foil full art Black Sun Zenith, which is super sweet. I'm gonna put it in this effect deck actually. Pretty nifty. And then also got the Suture Priest. So let me know how you did. I would love to hear what decks you guys played, what you ran into, some matchups that you had, and go ahead and leave those comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.